Hi, my name is Travis Lindsay. I'm here for the Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State Fullerton. And today I'm lucky to have Tonya Whiteside with me. She recently came into our CSUF Entrepreneurship community, and we wanted to get everybody to get to know her a little bit. So Tonya, can you introduce yourself and maybe a little bit about how you met us?
Sure. Tonya Whiteside. I am an entrepreneur here in Orange County, California. And my business, the Whiteside Group, we really focus on helping individuals who are rebuilding their life after going through traumatic experiences, be it personal, professional, or spiritual. We're really into healing, growth, and success. And I am so happy to be here. I'd love to tell you a little bit more about my background and how I got here, but I was very fortunate to meet someone from Cal State Fullerton. I went through an intensive boot camp for entrepreneurship, and the rest is history. Here I am, ready to continue to grow the business and succeed getting to the next level.
Well, here we are right at the beginning of that history-making moment.
Yes.
So one of the things, Tanya, that I noticed when looking through your website, just talking with you, and then also your Army veteran pin that's on you, is that values are something that's really important to you. And so can you talk a little bit about that, about, I mean, even in all of your emails and the signature line, it says rebuilding life, see it, say it, scripted. Can you talk a little bit
Absolutely.
about that?
Yes, a lot of my experiences, I started out after high school going into the Army Reserve for 8 years, the best 8 years of my life. The military helped me to grow individually. I've learned a lot about partnership, about working with others, about having those values and integrity in everything that you do. And so it is a part of everything that I do. And with the Whiteside Group, I'm sure to add that. I'm always adding that. See it, say it, scripted is really about first visualizing what it is you want to have in your life, then saying it out loud, not just keeping it in a picture in your head, but actually saying it out loud, seeing yourself realizing that, and scripting it. Scripting it means, you first have to maybe write out your goals or the different things that you want to do. And then scripted is really about making it happen. And part of what we do with the Whiteside Group is help with vision board retreats, vision day retreats, doing mindfulness activities where we really are creating that focus that we need depending on what it is we are looking for. If it's something personal that we want to accomplish, are we trying to move and transition in different careers? Maybe you're at the beginning, but the Whiteside Group wants to come alongside you and help support you to realize that dream that you have for yourself.
Yeah, that's excellent, and we'll put all of your information in the description, and everybody will be able to see it. So one of the things that I caught that was really important is not just the visualization, but actually the verbalization of it, and then writing it down, trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
My background, one of the classes that I taught over at Cal State Fullerton was business planning. And so it sounds like that there's some maybe, overlaps there between what you're talking about. In your situation, is journaling something that you think is good for people and something that they can do to really help?
Absolutely. In fact, Travis, I have journals pretty much everywhere. I even have one next to me here. I have one next to my bedstand. Now I'm putting notes in my phone when I think of things. And earlier this year, I did publish my fourth book, and it's called Focus. And it's a 31-day journal where it's literally guiding you day by day for 31 days. But you could, take one day and work with that day for a week if you like. And it's really to help you gain that clarity and focus in a particular area or several areas if you are really trying to focus in one area. So I absolutely believe in journaling. And in our vision retreats, that's what we're doing. We're learning how to take those visions and put it either on a board, but keeping it in front of us and then planning. It's something when we can see it first here and then say it out loud and then scripting it in the different things that we do by our networking. For a lot of your viewers, possibly being in school, learning what classes you want to take to help you realize the vision that you have for yourself.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to take this a couple of ways. First off is help for myself, because I'm a selfish person, so I've tried to journal before in the past, and I get the journal. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but something like this, and then good intentions and all that, and it ends up just sitting on my desk for years. How does somebody overcome that? Is it just the intentionality of it all? Do you have to have like a set plan on how to keep it going?
Right. I would say it's different for everyone. When I'm journaling, I don't always write in complete sentences. Sometimes it's bullet points. I always date it so that I can turn back to it to know what that thought was at that time. So journaling could be a project that you want to work on, and maybe you write the title of that project. Some people like quiet time first thing in the morning. So if you could take 5 or 10 minutes to maybe think about your day, write down a couple of things that you would want to accomplish in the day. You don't have to have all the steps, but even if you just jot it down, maybe it's in the middle of the day when you take a break or go to lunch, having it next to you, or even your phone, opening up that notes page. That's a way to get started with the journaling or others like to journal at night. I journal throughout the day. Even sometimes I dream and I wake up and I have to grab something to write down so that when it's fresh in my mind, I'll remember. So there are a lot of different ways to get started, but that's the key. I heard something today that I thought would resonate, and it was something like, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, you're still moving, right? So it's not, always going to look, some days you may get further in your journaling, but it's really about getting started. Even if it's writing one thing down, even if it's not 5 days, start with 1 and then continue to build on it. And if you can create a consistency with it, our focus journal will help you and guide you on different topics or prompts that you can use in your journaling.
Yeah, that is great. So responding to prompts, I think is tremendous. Do you remember some of those prompts just off the top of your head?
Well, I just happen to have my book
Okay.
here. And even if we started with day 1 in building this journal, it asks just a simple question: who or what do you want to do? What do you want to do? It's just that simple. What do you want to have? Those are just different questions, and it'll have lines on there. And there's no judgment. This is for you. So how do you see yourself? What are some of the things that you want to do? There are questions in here about qualities that, describe how I want to, or where do I want to be in 5 years? Obviously, we don't always think that far ahead, but just different qualities about you. So it has different questions like that with lines. Here's one great dream I have that will thrill me to my core if I were to achieve it is, and it just gives you something to think about. For some people, they think about it all the time. Others say, I haven't thought about that in a long time. When you're journaling, this allows you to have that vision for yourself that's going to help you get to the goals that you want to have.
Gotcha. Yeah. So the second part where I wanted to take that, besides the selfish part of helping myself out, was with students and entrepreneurs. I mean, it's not necessarily getting over trauma, but there definitely is trauma involved in both of those processes. So for yourself, I mean, as an entrepreneur, do you? I know you journal, but do you also try to focus some of that on your business side as well? Or do you have any advice basically for other entrepreneurs about how to journal, and maybe, it could also be applicable to our students?
Absolutely. In planning what you want to do, dream big. Don't judge your dreams. Your dreams are your dreams. And then you're in a place, Cal State Fullerton, oh my goodness, there are so many resources available. But first you have to look at what is it that you want. As an entrepreneur, I know, Travis, I was sharing with you, I've been at this a really long time, but it's not that I've given up on my dream. Every experience that I have had has a place in my life that I can use now or maybe use later, but nothing has been wasted. This has all been lifelong learning. So when you think of it that way, in fact, one of the professors shared with us, you don't lose. You're not losing. Nothing is, you know, something that you can't learn from. We can learn from all of our experiences. And so I would say be open to hearing feedback, right? It's our baby and we love it. But if we can't find a way to bring it to market or for other people to see it, then it's really just our dream. But as an entrepreneur, if you really want to create a business, whether it's a product or a service, you have to be open. You have to find the resources, the connections, stay connected, ask questions, and really do what you can to help create a business that you want for yourself. Entrepreneurship is not easy, but it's so rewarding if you're doing something that you love. And with the Whiteside Group, we are continuing to look at our messaging to make sure that healing, growth, and success is what we are delivering to the market. So in entrepreneurship, you have to be willing to partner. You have to be open to hearing feedback in order to realize the dream that you want to have as an entrepreneur.
Awesome. So besides all that, besides the books, 4 books, that's a lot of writing, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Just in and of itself. I know a couple of authors, have, one in my family. So I know that it could be an all-consuming task. But besides that, with the Whiteside Group, you also do workshops, right?
Yes.
And one of the acronyms I see on the website is MEAL. Can you explain
Absolutely.
that to people?
Yes. So our workshops are set up to be motivational, educational, there's active participation, and along with that, life application. So our goal in our customized workshops could be job readiness, workplace diversity, again, with the goal setting, different things of that nature. The vision, they're set up as a vision retreat where we also do vision board, but depending on what type of customized program, you're going to have that meal. The motivation, we're gonna have some active participation. You're gonna be educated, but it's also something that you will be able to take away and apply to your life. So in all of those workshops, you're going to have a meal, and that's where that came from.
That's great. So one of the things that I think would be very useful for some of the entrepreneurs that are watching this to hear about is how were you able to stick with it? Because entrepreneurship, I mean, it's tough for pretty much everybody who does it. There's, lonely nights, you're working 60, 70, 80, 100-hour weeks pretty frequently. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's up to you. And if you have any employees, I mean, you're kind of responsible for their livelihoods as well. So what are some of the values that you think helped sustain you through those times?
Sure. And I'll just kind of share how my messaging changed, and I have a new love and passion for what I'm doing. Is several years ago, I was a victim and witness to a murder-suicide of 2 really good friends. And as devastating as that was, the fact that I was able to get counseling. I was able to get support groups. I could look at my life and see that a lot of things that I lived through earlier, like being in the military, working in education, working in the, the prison system, a lot of that had prepared me, but also I decided that since I was spared, my life was spared, and I was still here, it was important for me to share how if I could get through something as traumatic as being a victim and witness to a murder suicide, I want my life to be a representation. I want to help others who've gone through traumatic experiences rebuild their life if they're stuck. People would, once I began to share my story of going through stress, anxiety, PTSD, that, you know what, this is something that I could share with other people to help them. I could, you know, point them in the direction, talk to them about those first steps of what you need to do when you've gone through a traumatic experience. That traumatic experience could be moving, losing a job as an adult, you know, maybe a divorce or a lot of those things, moving away from home for the first time ever. And I know for college students, sometimes it's the first time they've been away from their support system. How do you rebuild your life? You first have to examine your exterior. Am I okay this way? And then you start peeling back layers. And then you're identifying those things within you that have become a source of anxiety. And then you deal with one thing at a time and expect aftershocks. And what I mean by that is, you know, something could be said or done that kind of takes you back to a space where you were traumatized, but you're learning how to deal with those things by the resources that you're being given. And I just decided that the Whiteside Group would really focus around helping people rebuild after going through traumatic experiences. And that's why I do what I do. I'm still here. And I think, you know, our mission in life is to help others to, you know, get on that road of rebuilding, healing, growing, and succeeding.
You know, first off, I just want to say, you know, I'm certainly glad that you're still here, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. I've personally never gone through anything like that, but I've known other people who have, and it's obviously great that you're able to get through it, but even more so, you're helping others, you know, get through similar experiences, or, you know, like you said, other traumatic experiences. You know, you're right. You know, the kid who's leaving home for the first time. I mean, that's a traumatic experience, and to them, it's maybe the most traumatic experience they've ever had. But then, you know, there's also other tragedies that are much worse than that, you know, in reality. And so that is awesome. Gosh, so is there anything else that you want to share? I mean, that was a tremendous thing to share with us. So thank you for doing that to start off with. Is there any, you know, advice that you would give potentially to students or to entrepreneurs that you think that could help them?
I would just say I applaud you. I think that the entrepreneurs that are coming alongside of us will be creating things that we've never thought of. I just say keep dreaming, and find those individuals that believe in your dream. Your dream is not for everyone. Let me just say that. It's not for everyone. I can't say that every person that I said, I'm going to go and speak about my experience. Not everybody says, good for you, great, go ahead. Or I'm going to have vision retreats that, you know, helps individuals to focus. Not everybody's going to believe in it, but there will be people that when you surround yourself with other like-minded entrepreneurs who are maybe doing something, you know, similar to what you're doing, finding great mentors, is that's what you do. You continue to go after it, and I would say do your best to not be discouraged if you get a no or someone is not as excited about your business. Find someone who is. If you believe in what you're doing, that's the first thing. And now you want to find and identify those resources that can help you really bring it to life, but also be open. Don't hold on to it so tightly, because if it's something that you want to share with others, you will need a community. And I have found at Cal State Fullerton, there's a community there.
Yeah, hold on loosely, but don't let go, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, no, a couple of things that I think are worth highlighting from what you just said. I mean, one thing is don't limit yourself, right? I mean, if you're going to, and I saw this in the classroom, some of the students, they would have these great ideas, but then they would think that, oh, well, we're only going to make like $20,000 a year off of this. And I encourage them to think bigger, because you need to, and you should, because there's no reason to limit yourself. And really, in order to make it, I mean, you do have to think bigger. And then the second thing that I wanted to highlight from what you were just saying is the grit part, the determination, just being persistent with it, going and actually getting, help or partners or, other professionals to help out with what you're doing and to help you realize that vision. And so it's really something that you have to work at consistently. And yeah, I mean, eventually it doesn't always work out. Obviously, there's a high failure rate with entrepreneurship. But if you do want to be successful at it, you have to have that, a little bit larger than life vision, and then that great determination you have to have in order to actually bring that to fruition.
And you have to believe that, and you would hope that you don't know it all. If I took the approach that I've been doing this a long time and I know what I'm doing, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you right now, because I would not have gone to that boot camp. That boot camp helped me so much. It helped me think of things that I had not thought of before. Really working on my pitch, really, changing one word in my delivery of the pitch opened up other things for me that I hadn't thought of. But had I taken the approach of, oh, I've been doing this a long time, or I don't need that because I've already started, I wouldn't be where I am. I am a person who wants to learn and grow because I believe in my vision and mission. And the only way to get better and find the right audience for what I'm doing is I have to continue to go to boot camps, to join organizations, to ask questions in order to be sure that I'm in front of the right audience that I need to be.
Yeah, having that growth mindset is critical, that you're not limited to where you're at right now. Because if you think, hey, you know what, if you think your ceiling is where you're at right now, guess what, that's where your ceiling's at. So you have to push out beyond your own barriers and learn new things. And then, the other thing that I love about what you were just saying was that by reaching out to other people, you're increasing what's possible. If you just try to do it all by yourself, you're only going to be able to do so much. And that's fine. I mean, if that's what you want to do, or if that's how you work best, maybe you just want to be an author and write books and do something like that, that's perfectly fine. But there's only so much you can do. But once you start bringing in more people, that ceiling at what you're able to achieve just keeps on getting higher and higher. So 100% love everything that you're saying. Tonya, is there anything else you would like to share?
I'm just thankful for this opportunity. I'm so excited for the entrepreneurs that are viewing this right now. I think having, multiple streams as an author, so maybe some of you want to write a book, that's a good thing too. Having those, partnerships, so important. But again, I think knowing that you have Cal State Fullerton behind you with all of the resources, you cannot go wrong with using the resources that you have available. So I wish you all much success, and thank you so very much. Find the Whiteside Group on Instagram. We're also on Facebook. And then our whitesidegroup.net website also has information.
100%. And that'll all be linked to in the description. So anybody who's watching this right now can go down there and look at that. And yeah, I mean, just to finish it out, I mean, what Tonya said is absolutely true. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, the best thing that you could do is start going out, meeting new people. Of course, we want you to do it with the Whiteside Group and Cal State Fullerton, but you know, there's tons of great universities, there's tons of great groups in Orange County, all across the country and the world. So, you know, entrepreneurship isn't an individual sport. It's definitely a
Right.
team sport. And the more you're able to expand your team out, and that's not just employees, that's everybody who's working on it, the better.
Yeah.
So Tonya, I know that we're all thankful that you're in our community now, and hope it's a long, great relationship.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Travis, for having me. I'm really thankful for this opportunity.
Thank you, Tonya.